Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Glacial Geek Kill Team Battle Report. I'm Phil, the Glacial Geek, coming to you here from Savannah Lion Games in Pooler, Georgia, where I'm about to fight a 125-point Kill Team Arena mission between my Heretic Astartes and Neil's Blood Angels. So the story that we've got going on here is that this facility had been a Blood Angels facility that they had been using, but it had been left to mothball. They had moved on from utilizing it. But word got back to the Blood Angels that there was a Chaos warband that was making its way to this facility because of something that was being held on the data cores inside the facility. So they dispatched a quick response team to go down and handle it. They got to the facility before the Chaos warband and prepared for the battle that was going to be coming ahead. So that's the story that we've got going on. The mission we're going to be playing is called Forgotten Data. Essentially, there are 4 objectives on the board here, and if you control an objective at the end of a battle round, you score a point. If you control 2 or more, you score 2 points, and if you control more than your opponent, you score 3 points. Or you score a 3rd point for that. So you can score up to 3 points per round. You can only score a maximum of 9 points from that primary mission during the battle. We also have some other secondary missions, which will be shown as they are scored, but we'll get into that further. And from those ones, you can score a maximum of 3 points per objective. So for a max of another 9 points, I believe, for that one, right? Yeah, so you can max score 3 points from each of those. So that is going to be it for the mission. That is going to be it for the story. Before we go any further, though, let's show you the 2 kill teams that are going to be fighting it out. So for the Traitor Astartes, my kill team will consist of, from left to right, we have my leader, who's an aspiring champion with a plasma pistol and a power sword. We then have a berserker champion with a power fist and a bolt pistol. He will be a combat specialist. We have a sniper specialist, which is a Traitor Astartes gunner with a plasma gun. We have a zealot specialist, which is a berserker destroyer with a plasma pistol and a chain axe. We then have a regular berserker with a chain axe and bolt pistol, and we have 3 marines with bolters.
It costs too many.
And then for the Blood Angels, his kill team will consist of, from left to right here, his leader, who is an infiltrator sergeant. We then have an eliminator, who's his sniper specialist. We then have a comm specialist, who is an infiltrator, demolitions expert, who is an infiltrator, and then 3 more infiltrators. Going over deployment now, we have my leader back over here. We got my sniper specialist here, combat specialist, bolter bro. We've got my berserker back here, and we've got my berserker destroyer in front of him, and another bolter bro right beside him. So that's deployment for the Chaos Space Marines here. Going over deployment for the Blood Angels. So interesting here, he's using the infiltrators, and he also has the eliminator, who has this. Essentially, they have its forward positions, and they can deploy anywhere on the map that is more than 9 inches away from the deployment zone here, which is pretty cool. So they are now deployed everywhere. Everywhere you're going to see them is more than 9 inches from my actual deployment zone. So it makes it for a really interesting situation, which is going to be, I think, fun. So he's got one of his infiltrators back over here on this objective. He's got his sniper and his comm specialist here in the middle of the board. We've got his demolitions expert up over here, his leader here. We've got a regular infiltrator back on this objective, and we've got the other infiltrator back on this objective here. So pretty cool. We'll see how this all goes. So that is deployment. We are now going to roll to see who has initiative going into round 1. I rolled an 8. My opponent rolled an 8. So re-roll. I rolled an 11. My opponent rolled a 6. So I will be going first. But before I do, I'm going to spend 2 CP to beseech the gods on my combat specialist down here. So I roll a D6. On a 1, he is not worthy and suffers D3 mortal wounds. Anything other than a 1, though, I get to get +1 to hit and to wound for the rest of the game. So let's see what happens. No, it's okay. So he's still alive. That was tough, but he's going to get +1 to hit and +1 to wound, which is fantastic. So that is going to be that. We'll come back to you after movement phase for the Chaos Space Marines here on turn 1. All right, movement phase for the Traitor Astartes here on turn 1. My leader and my combat specialist both advanced. Didn't roll very well, which is why they got to where they are outside of round of him. My sniper specialist moved up over to here. He had opened this door, and he had opened this door. And then these guys had advanced out over this way, getting farther up that way, rolling a little bit better than their friends down over here. So that's going to be it for the movement phase. We'll come back to you with the movement phase for the Blood Angels here on turn 1. Movement phase for the Blood Angels here on turn 1. His guy over here readied. These two guys moved up to get line of sight onto my sniper. He moved up, Demolitions Expert moved up, opened the door, getting line of sight down over here. He's running up there to hold that door there, door, and he readied himself, and he readied himself, holding on to those objectives back over there. So that's going to be it for the movement phase. We will come back to you with the shooting phase. So starting off the shooting phase, his readied guy over here is going to start off by firing into my combat specialist. He's got the marksman bolt carbine here, so it's going to be 2 shots because he's in rapid fire range, which is also half range. I'm not obscured, I don't think, from that position there, so he's going to be hitting on 3s. Getting that 6 is an auto wound with that, and he does get another hit. So that's going to automatically wound, and then you've got one more hit that you have to do here. So roll that. That's going to be strength 4, right? So yep. 4 is to wound. That's not a wound there.
I'll burn it.
Going to spend a CP to re-roll that one.
No.
Nope, no wound there. Not meant to be. Yeah, exactly. I got the shirt there for that. Re-rolling into 1s there. So I've got 2 saves that have to be here. AP nothing. So I've got 2 3-up saves to make. And I make them both. Woo! And then into the non-readied stage here, I'm going to have my sniper specialist here firing to his comm specialist. He is obscured. I am going to, but he's within rapid fire range, so he's going to be -1 to hit because of that, but I am going to supercharge here. But remember, supercharging only kills you on a natural roll of 1, unmodified roll of 1 here in Kill Team, as opposed to that being a bigger deal in regular Warhammer there. So it's going to be 2 attacks here, 2 shots here, hitting on 4s because of being obscured. That is going to be 1 hit, 1 miss, but not blowing up, which is good to know. This is now going to be a strength 8, so wounding on a 2. Do not have anything to re-roll that. Ah! All right, so now his eliminator here is going to fire into my sniper specialist. So it's his sniper specialist. He did move with a heavy weapon. He is obscured from him over here, but he does get +1 because of the comm specialist over there. He's going to be firing execution around, so it's going to be 1 shot here, hitting on a 4, re-rolling 1, and then it's strength 4. So that's not going to be a hit. Do you want to spend a CP to reroll?
Burn it.
Yeah, because it wasn't a 1. Yep, going to spend his other CP to reroll that. No, that's not going to be a hit. No, cannot. Our bad. He actually already spent the CP to spend a CP to reroll this turn, so that stratagem's already been used this phase. So it's all good. So he's got a CP back, but still, I mean, didn't make a difference. He still didn't hit. So now his comm specialist is going to fire into my sniper specialist as well. They really don't like him. So it's going to be 2 shots here because he's within half range, but he is going to be hitting at -1 because of obscurement. Forced to hit. Not going to get any hits. And now this guy, his demolitions expert, is going to fire into my dude bro as well. He is just within rapid fire range, but he is obscured, so hitting on 4s. Getting 2 hits, and those 6s are auto wounds because of using the marksman there. So it's going to be 2 wounds there, AP nothing, so I have 2 3-up saves to make here. Oh, I failed 1, so that's going to be 1 damage. Here comes the injury roll.
No, we can't use a roll.
Cannot. With a 1, he takes a flesh wound.
Attacking hand to hand.
Alrighty, that was it for the that is it for the round 1 here. We have no leadership test to take here because no one can fail any. At the end of the turn, I do control 1 objective, which gives me 1 point. My opponent controls 3 objectives, which gives him 3 points because he gets 1 point for holding an objective. He gets 1 point for holding 2 or more, and he gets 1 point for holding more than me. He also scored one of his objectives, which is domination, having more models in the center there at the end of the battle round, so he gets 1 point for his secondary domination. So that gives my opponent at 4 points to my 1 point. Pretty good turn there for the Blood Angels, but we'll see how it goes here into round 2, where we will be rolling off. My opponent rolled a 5, I rolled a 4, so it will be Blood Angels' turn first here, coming at you. All right, movement phase for the Blood Angels here. He readied this guy here. His Eliminator opened the door, which allowed his comm specialist to come up to the front over here. He moved up from over there behind these boxes over here. He readied himself against there, readied himself, and readied himself. Holding on to those objectives and holding the door over there, which means I can't move up and open it this turn, which is kind of brutal here, but we'll see how this all pans out. So that is going to be it for the movement phase. We will come back to you, the movement phase for the Blood Angels. We'll come back to you with the movement phase for the Heretic Astartes here on turn 2. All right, movement phase for the Heretic Astartes here. These guys all moved up here, so they're by the door, ready to go for next turn. Over here, this guy moved from over here. The guy who was right over there moved over to here. And then my sniper specialist readied himself, and these two guys are going to charge into his dude bro over here. So we're going to start with my combat specialist charging into him. So we'll roll his Overwatch here, hitting on 6s.
Rapid fire.
Getting a hit, which is a wound, because it's an no, you don't have to roll for a wound. That's an auto wound with his marksman hit there. So that's a hit and a wound into him there. I've got a 3-up armor save, which I make, which is pretty good. So now I have my roll to see if I get into combat, and an 8 inches will get him in. And then my leader here is going to charge in as well. 4 inches might get him in. In fact, I do get into it, so that's going to be good to go. All right, so my sniper specialist is ready and is going to start us off here. He's going to fire into the comm specialist. I'm going to be hitting on a 4 because he is obscured from my position there. So we're going to be, like I said, hitting on 4s, re-rolling 1s. I am going to supercharge. Okay, so I do get 1 hit, but I do have a 1, which I will re-roll because I am a sniper. Into not a hit, but not a blow up, which is important. So I got 1 hit here, AP -3, so a 6-up armor save. No, that's going to go through. Do you want to spend a CP to re-roll that, or are you going to hold on to your re-roll? I did 2 damage there, yeah, with that one. We'll come back to that. He is going to spend that CP to re-roll, looking for that 6. No, that's going to go through, so that's going to be 2 damage to him, which takes him down to 0. Let's see what happens here, looking for a 4+. No, takes a flesh wound. I'm going to spend a CP to re-roll one of those. No, of course. I would think I already have the t-shirt that's available in my merch store down there. Rerolling 1s into 1s. All right, so now his Eliminator is going to fire into my sniper specialist. He's going to get +1 to hit because of the comms, -1 hit for being obscured. Hitting on a 3. That's going to be a hit. Strength 4, so wounding on 4s.
It doesn't matter.
No wound there. You already spent your CP to reroll this turn, so no wound there. All right, my bolter guy here is going to fire into his comm specialist. I'm going to be -1 because of obscurement, but otherwise getting 2 shots here, hitting on 4s. That's going to be 1 hit, wounding on a 4. That is a wound. 3-up armor save. Ooh, he's good.
Close range.
And now his comm specialist is going to fire into my guy over here, hitting on 4s because of obscurement. Doesn't suffer the penalty for his flesh wound because of transhuman physiology. That's going to be 1 hit. This is going to be wounding on a 4. That is a wound. 3-up armor save. Yeah, he good. And then my guy over here is going to fire into his comm specialist. I want him dead. So 2 shots, hitting on 4s because he's obscured. That is going to be 1 hit. This is going to be wounded on a 4. No wound. And then his demolitions guy is going to fire into my sniper here, hitting on 4s because he's obscured. That's going to be no hits. All right, so now into the fight phase, because that's it for shooting. We're going to have my combat specialist, who is a Berserker champion, attack into his infiltrator here. He's going to have 3 attacks base, +1 because of being a combat specialist, so 4 attacks. 3+ weapon skill, but a -1 to hit because of being the fist, but he gets +1 to hit because of the fact that he has beseeched the gods there. So I'm going to have 4 attacks, hitting on 3s with a power fist. That is going to be 3 hits. These are going to be wounding on 2s. It's technically +1 to the wound, but that's fine. We're going to have still wounding on 2s. Doesn't make a difference. I'll take it anyway. That is going to be 3 wounds at AP -3. So we've got 3 6-up saves. No, none of them go through there. So we got to do this one at a time for damage because it's D3 damage. 1 damage, and then we've got the second one. doing 3 damage. So that will take him down to 0 with that 3 damage. And because it was a 3 damage weapon that did, I roll 3 dice to take him out of action here. And of course, I'm different phase. I'm going to spend a CP to re-roll one of these because, right? I don't want to give him another flesh wound. I need to take him out here. Or maybe no. Maybe I don't. Maybe I just leave that and then hope my leader can take him. Oh, my. 1 second. I'll get back to you. All right. I've got to take this. I've got to try to get this injury roll here. I've got to try to do it. So here we go. Oh, wait, no. Injury roll. I roll all 3 of them. Oh, my God. And there we go. That's what I needed. I forgot. It's the whole roll you do in this one. Oh, boy. There we go. That is out of action. All right, so my combat specialist then piled in towards him over here, and then my leader moved up over here. So that is going to be it for the fight phase, and that is going to be it for the end of the of turn 2 here. So at the end of turn 2, there's no leadership test that needs to be taken. We've got both have one guy with 1 flesh wound, but he can't fail those rolls. Because of them having only having 1 guy out, me having no guys out. So at the end of the turn, I do score 1 point for having 1 objective, 2 points for having 2 or more objectives. My opponent scores 2 points for having 2 objectives, and also scores domination a second time because of having more guys within range of the center of the 3 inches of the center of the table, which is pretty good for that, leaving my opponent at 7 points to my 3 points. So that is going to be it for the turn 2 here. We will now roll off to see who has initiative going into turn 3. My opponent rolled a 10. I rolled a 9. So we'll come back to you after movement phase for the Blood Angels here on turn, turn 3. All right, movement phase for the Blood Angels here. Readied, and moved up to the door over here. They're both trying to hold that door from the ravaging beast that they hear on the other side of that door. So that is going to be it for the movement phase for the Blood Angels. We will come back to the movement phase for the Chaos Space Marines. All right, movement phase for the Chaos Space Marines. These guys are all going to ready. My leader is going to move slightly over this way, but still be on the objective. He is going to try to open the door, and my opponent is going to try to deny it. And then we'll get back to you with some of the charges possibly are going to go here. So we're going to try to open the door. On a 5+, he holds that door shut. No, that door is open, which is going to open up the floodgates here. So we're going to come back to you with these charges. So we're going to start with my Berserker champion, Berserker destroyer, charging into both these guys here. So we'll do this guy first. Doesn't make a difference on 6s. No hits there, and then on to the next guy over there. Getting a hit, which is a wound because he's got that marksman thing. So 3 up armor save. No, I failed it. Injury roll. Yes! On a 6, he is out. So then he is going to charge into both of them as well here. So here we go. Roll your Overwatch for these guys too. So we'll go again in the same order here. First one. No hits there. And the next one. No hits there. So his charge distance is definitely in. All right, so now my combat specialist here is going to charge into his comm specialist and into his sniper over here. So his comm specialist is going to fire Overwatch over here. Not going to get any hits there, and he does not have line of sight. But you can shoot the one that has no.
I'm going to go to.
Going to spend 1 CP or the 2 CP for shooting point blank Overwatch. So we'll see if I get within range that he'll be able to see me, and if he does, he'll get to shoot at me, but not until then. So here we go. His charge distance. A 10-inch charge will get him in. So when he comes around the corner over here, you can shoot at him, but not get a hit over there. But I am going to move that 10 inches. All right, so into the shooting phase, the comm specialist is going to fire into my sniper over here, hitting on 4s. That's going to be 2 hits. That 1-6 is a wound, but then let's see if the other one's a wound. Nope, on a 3 it's not a wound, so it's going to be 1 wound that goes in there. 3 up armor save. No, that's going to go through. +1 to this because he's already got a flesh wound on him. And on 5, he's out. So now my bolter bro here is going to fire into his demolitions expert over there. 2 shots hitting on 4s because he's obscured. That's going to be no hits. And now his demolitions expert is going to shoot at my guy in the doorway over here. 2 shots hitting on 4s because he's obscured. That's going to be 1 hit, wounding on a 4. Oh, wounding on a 3. It would have been a 3 to wound because he's demolitions expert and I'm obscured. Gonna spend a CP to re-roll that. So because he's demolitions expert, it's would be wounding on 4s, but in 3s because he gets +1. That is a wound. So I've got a 3-up armor save, and I make it. Woo! And he's gonna try to return the favor to him over there. 2 shots, not getting any hits. All right, so now my leader over here is going to fire into his comm specialist. I am going to supercharge here. So he is going to be hitting on a 5 because he is -1 for range. With the plasma pistol, he's outside of 6 inches. And he's -1 for obscurement over there. That is a hit. Wounding on a 2. That is a wound. AP -3, so we've got a 6-up save. No, he does not make it. So that's going to be 2 damage +1 because he's already got a flesh wound. And he just takes another flesh wound. Oh, have I spent a CP to re-roll this phase? I have not. I don't think I have. I have not. So I'm going to re-roll that. I'll re-roll those because I need. Yes, with the 6 double filled phases, he is out of action. But I did score death from afar by taking a model out of action with a shooting attack that was at long range. All right, so at the beginning of the turn, into the fight phase now, my opponent's going to spend 2 CP for Decisive Strike, and as will I, because we both really want it. So here we go, see who will get it. And I will be fighting first. So we're going to start with my combat specialist here. He's going to attack into his eliminator. I've got 4 attacks because of +1 there. He is my berserker champion. I'm going to have 4 attacks hitting on 3s because of beseech the gods, giving me +1 and -1 for the power fist. That is going to be 3 hits. Strength 8, so wounding on 2s. That is going to be 2 wounds there. These are going to be wounding on, these are going to be, oh, 1 second. And I'd actually gotten a 6 to hit there. He has Death to the False Emperor, so I get another attack with that Power Fist, which is a hit, does not proc itself, and then wounding on a 2. So it's going to be 3 at AP -3 here. So you're going to have 3, 6-up saves. Making 1, but failing 2. So it's only 2, so let's see. The first one is going to do 2 damage, which will take him down. So now I just roll 2 damage on this injury roll here. And on a 4, he is out of action. Alrighty, so I did consolidate into his dude bro over here. I won't be able to attack again, even though I'm a berserker champion here, because of the fact that I didn't declare him as a charged target. But I did pile in, so he is in combat with me over here. So moving on, my opponent now has, because of spending Decisive Strike, will get to attack back with one of his guys. Who do you want to attack back with, do you think? With the leader over there, because he's going to have 1 extra attack. So he's going to have 3 attacks here. These are going to be coming into me, into my guy here. So it's going to be 3 attacks, hitting on 3s. That is going to be 2 hits.
But I hate you.
Do you get to reroll against that? 1 second. All right, yeah, so it's just the 2 hits there. These are going to be Strength 4, Toughness 4, so looking for 4s to wound. Getting 1 wound. I do have a save, 3-up armor save. He's good with a Filfers. Sorry, that 3 was actually also a wound because he gets +1 to wound because of being Blood Angels on a turn that he got charged there. So that is going to be another wound. I have another 3-up armor save to make. Whoop. And I do. All right, so now my Berserker here with the Chain Axe is going to attack into his Dubro on the left there. So I'm going to have 2 attacks. These are going to be hitting on 3s. That is going to be 1 hit. It's going to be Strength +1, so wounding on a 3. That is a wound. AP -1, so a 4-up save. He's good. All right, so now his Infiltrator here is going to attack into me in the regular portion of the fight phase. 2 attacks here, hitting on 3s. That is going to be 1 hit, wounding on a 3 because of the Blood Angels. That is a wound. So that is going to be a 3-up armor save. And I'm good. And I'm going to elect him again because he is a Berserker. So he is going to attack back into that same guy he did before. He's not happy with him. Hitting on 3s. That's going to be 2 hits, +1 for Death to the False Emperor, another attack. Hitting another hit, so 3 hits on 2 attacks, pretty good. Wounding on 3s because of the chain axe. That is going to be 2 wounds, AP -1, 2 4-up saves. My opponent makes 1, fails 1, so he takes a wound. And then his demolitions expert gets to attack into me over here. 2 attacks. That is going to be 2 hits, wounding on 4s, 2 wounds over there. 2 wounding on 3s actually, because oh no, he didn't get charged. It would have been 4s, but he still had 5 and 6, so it was good to go. So that's going to be 2 3-up saves. Failed 1. So here we go. Injury roll.
Come on, I got nothing else. Come on.
Yes! And he's out. All right, so that's going to be the end of the turn. I forgot to say, when he finished his move, he got the contact here for Bounty Hunter, which gave me another point for that one, which was good. So that's going to be the end of turn 3 here. Nobody has any flesh wounds that's left alive right now, so no one's going to have to take any leadership tests because we're not below 50% on our guys here. So at the end of turn 3, we both scored 2 points for holding 2 objectives, and but none of us holds more than that. So I have what is that? That's going to be 2, 4, 5. I have 7 points. My opponent has what was that? That was 9 points. 9 points total there. So 7 to 9. It's real close. So we will find out what's going to happen going forward here. So we're going to roll for the last round because this is turn 4. That's all that happens in Arena. Who has initiative? With a 6, I will have initiative. So we will, that is what we're going to have there. So we are going to come back to you after movement phase for the Chaos Space Marines here on turn, whatchamacallit, what turn is this? This is turn 4. All right, movement phase for the Chaos Space Marines here on turn 4, final turn. He moved up over here, grabbed another one of the bounties, bringing me to 2 for that. He readied himself back over here. My leader stayed and readied himself back over there. I know it says move, but he actually readied himself. He stayed in combat over here, and then he is going to charge into the guy over. He's going to charge into both of them over here. May as well, because they can't fire Overwatch since they're engaged. And he is way in. All right, movement phase for the Blood Angels. Both these guys are going to stay in combat. He had to because he got charged, and he just elected to. But when he stayed there, he did pick up the bounty that was over here. My opponent does have the Bounty Hunter one there, so he's gotten that one. This guy moved from over here over to that side over there, so he could get within 3 of the center, and I'm not within 3 of the center, so if he survives, he'll get that. And then he readied himself back there, staying on that objective as he has since the very beginning. So that is going to be it for the movement phase for the Blood Angels. We'll come back to you with the shooting phase. All right, so starting off, my ready guy over here is going to fire into his demolitions expert. I'm going to be hitting on 4s because of obscurement, but he is within rapid fire range, so no minuses for range there. So that's going to be 2 hits, wounding on 4s. That is going to be 2 wounds with Phil faces here. He's got 2 3-up saves. Makes 1, fails 1, takes a damage. You're gonna spend a CP to reroll that? You still got 1 wound left? No. So he's just gonna take 1 wound there. And now into the regular shooting phase. All the guys who have readied have already done their shooting. So he is now gonna shoot into him over here. So 2 shots, hitting on 4s again because he is obscured around that corner. That is gonna be 1 hit with that Phil face, wounding on a 4. That is a wound with a Phil face. 3-up armor save. He's good. And now his leader is going to fire his pistol into my berserker over there. That is going to be a hit. Looking for a 4 to wound. That is not a wound. He's going to set a CP to reroll that. That is a wound. 3-up armor save. He's good. And then he's going to fire his bolt pistol into the guy over there, into his regular infiltrator, hitting on a 3. That is not going to be a hit. And now his guy here is going to fire into my dude bro over here. He is obscured, so he's going to be hitting on 4s with 2 shots. That's going to be 1 hit. This is going to be wounding on a... He's demolition, so wounding on a 3. That's a 6. That's going to be a wound. Looking for a 3-up save. No, I failed that. So let's see what happens. Injury roll. 3, he takes a flesh wound. All right, so into the fight phase, we're going to start with the guy who charged. He is going to attack into his infiltrator here. He's got 1 attack hitting on a 3. That is a hit, wounding on a 4. That is a wound, regular save. He's good. So now my berserker here is going to attack into his infiltrator there. 2 attacks, hitting on 3s. That's going to be 2 hits, including a 6, which gets death to the false emperor. Into another hit, but that doesn't proc another one, so that's going to be 3 hits. These are going to be, 1 second. All right, so those 3 hits are going to be 3s to wound because of the strength +1 on the chain axe. That's going to be 2 wounds at AP -1, so 4 up saves. Makes them both.
It's a 3.
All right, so now his leader here is going to attack into my berserker here. He's going to have 3 attacks hitting on 3s. That's going to be 1 hit. Does not get +1 to wound. You're going to spend a CP to reroll? Okay, you're going to spend a CP to reroll. That's going to be a hit, so that's going to be 2 hits. And these are going to be, he does not get the +1 to wound because he did not get charged this turn. So it's still going to be 2 wounds, pretty good. 3 up armor saves. Making them both. Woo! So because my berserker gets to activate twice in a turn, he's going to attack back into the guy over there. So 2 attacks, hitting on 3s. That's going to be 1 hit, wounding on a 3 because of strength +1. No, I'm going to spend a CP to reroll that. Into a wound, AP -1, 4 up save. Oh, but he's good. And now his infiltrator is going to attack into my berserker here. He's going to have 2 attacks, hitting on 3s. That's 2 hits. These are wounding on 3s because he did get charged this turn. So Blood Angel's tactic gets to go. So that's going to be a wound there. Straight up 3 up armor save. He makes it. Alrighty, so that is going to be it for the turn here. We do have, I guess we technically would have a morale test here on his nerve test here. Don't have to roll for breaking, but I do have a nerve test to take. So his nerve test is a 6 plus 3 is 9, so he would be shaken. But that doesn't make a difference because it's the 4th turn, so it's the end of the game here. Looking at the scores here. The first turn, I got 1 point for the primary objective. 2nd, 3rd, and now the 4th turn, I got 2 points for those, giving me 7 points total for the primary objective. My opponent scored 3 points for the first turn, and then 2 points additionally after each of those, giving him a total of 9 victory points, which is the max for primary objectives there. Into secondary objectives, I scored the 1 point from Death from Afar. I scored 2 points for Bounty Hunters because he moved up there and grabbed that second one. I also scored 3 points because I did the arena-specific objective for this one, which was data recovery, which is at the end of the mission, score 3 victory points if there's at least 1 objective marker that you have controlled at the end of every battle round. I've controlled this objective at the end of every battle round, so I got that points there. My opponent, so that 3 points, bringing me to a total of 13 points for the game here. My opponent scored, like we said, he scored 9 points for the primary. He scored 1 point for Bounty Hunter because he killed a lot of my guys from distance, except for the one guy that he got it up there. He also scored 3 points for Domination because he scored it at the end of this game, this round too, because I'm not within 3 inches of the center of the game board there. And his third one he chose was Attrition, and he never killed more. Never had more at the end of the battle round than I did. So that left my opponent with 13 points as well. A tie. So this mission does state that at the end, if there's a tie in points, whoever controls the most objectives is the winner. We both control 2 objectives. So nobody gets anything. It is a tie, a straight up tie between the Blood Angels and the Heretic Astartes here. Oh man, that was a good game. At the beginning when he had all that infiltrating, I was like, ooh, this is going to be tough. I'm going to really need to make it work. And I mean, I did. I guess I did move up here. If you hadn't managed to kill him in that combat when I had consolidated in, I thought I was being cute. Because I was like, if I consolidate into him over here, he can't fire Overwatch. That protects me there. But he did get to punch back and did a lot of damage. So killed him there, because if I had actually gotten to attack with you over there, I think he probably would have killed him. It would have been hard for you to do what you did there to get that better, which is pretty brutal, but pretty awesome there too. That's just the way the game goes. So man, that was so good, back and forth, holding the door there so I couldn't even get the charge off until turn 3, and then just tanking those saves on that guy left and right, just the 1 wound onto him. Oh man, killer. But then choosing the wrong objective at that one was also killer. I mean, that's what it comes down to. It's like all of these things when you're trying to figure out like the tactics of Kill Team Arena, it really adds up when you're trying to figure out what you got to do, and you have to make it all from choosing your secondary objectives to placement of your guys, choosing who you're going to charge, who you're not going to charge, who you're going to ready. Like my leader, I really wanted to get him back into combat again, but I needed that objective. I needed to hold it, and that's what you got to do. So got to play to the objective. So an awesome game, a ton of fun. So I hope you guys have all enjoyed this. I certainly have. I have been Phil the Glacial Geek. As always, my opponent's been Neil, and until next time, have fun.